We have to start with the image that sums up our situation. I thought it was a perfect snapshot of our situation, which is the image of Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, his backside, her ass. I mean, I guess I can say that, on the air. It's a nice one. I saw her. She went to the Met Gala. This is the fancy ball. It's called Fashion's Biggest Night Out, and it supports the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which is a world-class museum in New York City. And, I happened to, for some reason, to be looking at her backside, and somebody said to me, there's something written on the back of her dress. Who knew? Who knew? It said, tax the rich. This is a $35,000 a ticket deal to get in. Tables start at $200,000, and she comes in like a queen, right? They're carrying the train of her dress behind her. Here's a picture.
Because I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass.
Well, they say in politics, you got to play to your base. And the reason I make this joke is there used to be, if you were a street guy, there used to be a saying, and I'm sure they don't use this anymore. It was probably, 30, 40 years ago. There was a saying on the street that if you showed somebody your weakness, if you showed somebody what was wrong with you, you said, I showed him my ass. I showed him my ass. And she did. She showed us exactly what her weakness is, right? The weakness of everybody who wants to build the world from the top down, who think they've got to figure it out, and it's not going to be individual decisions that make us rise. As Adam Smith said, each person makes a decision trying to better his lot, and as a corollary, they're not trying to make the world better. As a corollary, they make the world better. Just like, an artist paints because he wants to become famous and rich and win the love of women, but he also makes our lives better, and that's how capitalism works. Individual people do things. It's how freedom works. Individual people try to improve their lives, and that actually accidentally makes everybody's life better. But they want the credit for it, and they think they're going to do it, from the top down. But once they get the power, they can't let go of the power. And this is true of human beings today. It was true of human beings yesterday. It was Woodrow Wilson who came in and said, no, now man is perfectible. Now this thing where the government is fighting with each other, we can't do that anymore. That's slowing us down. It's slowing us down. We need to give the president all the power that he needs. You wonder why we name everything after George Washington, why there's a state and a city and a tower and a college, why all these things are named after George Washington. He was the one guy among billions, the one man among billions who gave away a kingdom to protect the freedom of the people. The one guy, and in doing that, it was so amazing, such a thunderclap of virtue, that it basically set the standard for America for 200 years, and then we forgot. So AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, got all this criticism. She has ethics complaints against her because she accepted this gift of a ticket, and they're trying to pass a law that says you can't accept these gifts and all this. And of course, she's always the victim, and always the jargon comes out when she's caught doing something bad. She says, I thought about the criticism I'd get, but honestly, I and my body have been so heavily and relentlessly policed from all corners politically since the moment I won my election that it's kind of become expected and normalized to me. It's when women in power take the prospect of criticism and they become cautious, and then they get called inauthentic, and she goes on and on and on. And she says, but we all had a conversation about taxing the rich in front of the very people who lobby against it because they don't care. They don't care at all. And listen, I don't know what she's talking about policing her body. I've been policing AOC. She's got a great body. She's got a terrific body. That's not what bothers me. It's the fact that she's an ignoramus. Most men have had the experience of being charmed by a great body, and then you wake up in the morning and the girl starts talking, and you think, oh my God, what have I done? I let my body betray me, and now I've got this ignoramus in my house. And look at her. I mean, just the truth of this. This is cut 10. She's loving this.
My God, tax the rich. What a model, AOC. What? I didn't know you model as well. Damn.
She's just having the greatest time. She's a socialist. We want everybody to be equal. Here's another one. Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney. We just have a picture of her. She's got equal rights for women, and behind her, amazingly, because none of the celebrities are wearing a mask, but all of the help are wearing masks. And behind her is this line of women. It looks like the Taliban has lined them up against the wall, wearing these these secular burqas, wearing these masks. They're all dressed in black, and she's out there grinning with her equal rights for women thing. It is amazing. It's amazing. That is socialism in a nutshell. But I call it socialism, but that's not even right. Socialism is the new fascism. Socialism is the new capitalism, because the philosophy doesn't matter if you don't put liberty first.